decision if she want to date or not. But you know, since we do have this open line of communication, this friendship with each other, she can come to me and talk to me about stuff like that, and I would definitely want to be involved in helping her make that decision,
Righteous.
As well as other decisions in life, as far as drugs and, stuff like that, they might have questions about. And I don't think it's anything wrong with being open with that. Because my as we were coming up, shit like that was from us, I was just told, I'll beat your ass, if you shit, if you out there fucking, I'm gonna beat your ass. It wasn't no education behind it, and say, hey, well,
we got it from school, actually. When we went to high school and we got the sex education, we had to, took the paper home. They signed it.
Yeah, but they don't get sex education no more at the school.
So now you really gotta,
right?
You know what I mean? Be on that level and be open,
right?
And like you said, have that level.
They tell, I mean, it's
so they can be comfortable with you.
Yeah, it's like a quick lesson at school, like girls have periods and this and that, and just like the little basics. But either way, not just with sex, you want them to be able to come, you want to have a say-so or have even if it's just an open ear on where they going for tonight,
definitely.
What they doing online.
Definitely.
Shit like that.
I mean, well, now that my children are older, I have 3 older ones. I can't dictate what they're doing online.
Right.
But what I can say is I've always taught them it doesn't matter how old you get. Still check in. Letting the person know where you're at. It doesn't matter. And I give them that. They still do it. My daughter will drop her location in a minute. Like, okay, especially if she goes to another state or she goes traveling, she will drop her location in a minute.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, those are things that I instilled in them. As a friend, like, I want you to always, keep a line of communication. Period.
Right.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how old you get. People love you.
Right.
That's the type of friendship I built, or at least I call myself building.
Well, yeah, and you want to be able to laugh with your child too, and grow, and you know what I'm saying?
Create
and
good
bond
memories.
In that level, do fun stuff.
Yeah. My son is 21 now, and he said, "You know what, Mom? I've never been out with you. I would like to go have a beer with you, or go to a bar, go to a casino, and just chill with you, Mom." I was like, okay. It'll happen eventually. I work, he work. He got 2 children of his own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I guess that's a friendship, you know what I mean? That me and my son have,
Yeah, because my daughter, she'll be 27 next week. I mean, and we kick it. We go places, we went to a couple of, spots and dance and stuff, but no twerking though, because, only because I don't know how to twerk, and she don't know how to twerk neither, I guess. And in response to that, maybe if I knew how to twerk, she would, but I don't know. But we still do things that adults would do together, but we not out there, meeting men and having sex with men and all that to get, like if you went out with your homegirl type shit.
Right.
We not out flirting and all that. We just hanging out, or go to the casino or something and play a couple quarters.
But she's an adult and you're an adult.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
She might be expressing to you how her work week was and vice versa.
Right.
You get what I mean? That's a bond. And I
Right.
do consider that a friendship, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I do feel like at a certain point there you have to draw the line, especially if you got, you know what I mean, unruly kids, or, you know, sometimes they can get it misconstrued. Like, who are you talking to?
Right.
I'm not your friend.
But in that friendship, that line is drawn because it's communicating, and you didn't build a friendship like they would with a friend. So it's not saying, you're not coming at them like, hey, yeah, I'm your friend too. I'm not just your mother. I'm your friend.
Yeah.
You're not, you know, they know your mother, but I just feel like, you know, the bond. That's where a lot of people get it, you know, misunderstood. Because they feel like that friendship, you know, is like the friendship that the child will have with their friend. You know, so that's why when they do certain things, we'd be like, who the fuck you think you talking to? I ain't one of your homegirls out there. You know, and that line is already instilled, you know.
Okay.
Because you've already built this bond, and this child already know how you talk, how you get down, because you talk to your child, you know.
I mean, you're right on a lot of levels, but I can't say I have a 20-year-old daughter, and she's kind of gotten out of line with me. You know what I mean? The things she say, how she came in, and I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. So bad to where I had to ask my child, do you think I'm your friend or I'm your mom? Like, what do you think of me as first? Like, what is the first thing that comes to your mind when you're talking to me?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I've always given that, you know, I very boisterous, like, you know, speak your mind. Yes. You know, but there's always certain lines I've had drawn with my children. Even if you're speaking to another adult, watch your mouth. You get what I mean? Watch your conduct.
Right.
That's what you have me for. I'll advocate for you. You get what I mean? So those are the things that I would definitely try to distinguish with my children, to understand the two. But, you know, as, you know, one gets older, you know, it's like, sometimes it's like, hold up. But again, not upset, because when I look at her, it's like, you really are your mother's child.
And it's funny though, because it's all new. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, as your child get older, you know, now you have to learn how to be a mother to an adult child.
Right.
You know? So, and that's where I think, you know, the bond grows even more into the friendship, you know. And I think it's okay to have, you know, to be open with the kid and allow them to have, you know, an opinion on some things, you know, not on everything but on some things that make them genuinely who they are, you know.
Help mold and sculpt them.
Right, like the way they dress, the way they wear their hair, you know, who they choose to have sex with, whether it's a boy or a girl, you know, things like that.
Yeah.
Things like that I feel
Yes.
should be,
It's
you know, should be definitely be open, you know, an open line of communication on. You know, because this is generally who they are. Now, when it comes to the decisions they making as far as something that can cause them to get hurt or get locked up, commit a crime, or hurt somebody, or, you know, the don't stick your finger in the socket because you're going, you know, stuff like that. Yeah, you're going to parent with that. You know, so, yeah, that's what, but parenting, you know, in every situation doesn't recall parenting. You know, sometimes, you know, it recalls just, you know, being a friend to that child. You know, maybe they just need somebody to listen and understand them.
Fair enough.
You know, as a person and what they're going through.
Yeah. Yeah. Because again, as you are now parenting, you have to remember that you were their age too.
Right.
So understanding and compassion, empathy, you know what I mean, has to come into me as far as making this decision when it's time to school them on whatever, you know, mistake they may have made.
Right.
You know, whether it was at school or out in the public, you know, whatever the case is. I feel like as a parent, pause. What was you doing at that age?
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Because I remember when I was coming up, it was like, you do what you were told, and that's that.
Yeah. And you had no input on that.
No input on nothing. If somebody said you were doing something, and it's like, wait, that's not how that happened.
Right.
But you still had no say so, you know, whatsoever. I remember so many times of that as a kid. Like, what? You just gonna believe that shit?
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm saying this in my head. Like, you got to be kidding me. So as I became a parent, you know, I don't just listen to what the teachers say all the time, or whatever the situation is. I want to hear their side too. And some people will look at me like, adults lie too.
Right.
So that's a friendship that I want my kids to understand that, I understand you. You know what I mean? I'm an adult, yes, and I'm a parent, and I'm going to still parent you after this. You get what I mean? But just understand that I know.
You're going to leave that open line of communication, though.
Period.
During the situation, because you don't, you don't want to build a wedge between your child because you're trying to be a mother to them, you know?
Or just constantly shove discipline instead of understanding.
Tough love. Right. All tough love.
That's how we came up. Tough love.
You know, that's it. That's
how we came up. And
we wasn't allowed to cry, though. You know, we got our ass whooped for crying. You understand?
Fuck you crying for?
and you better shut the fuck up.
Period.
You understand?
And it was on period.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Right.
I don't want to hear it. You should have thought about that before you did what you did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And me, I stayed getting my ass whooped because, I'm a debater. Listen, I wasn't doing that. I was doing this. No, such and such might have been, but I was doing this. Right. No, it's only because, I only said that because I was trying to explain. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, shut the fuck up. But I'm trying to tell, I'm
trying to tell you what happened. You ask a question, then it's just shut the fuck up.
Right.
It's like you just asked me a question.
I don't give a fuck. Like, well, damn,
And I'm guilty of doing that to my children too. I ain't even gonna lie. You know what I mean? Especially when shit got heated. Like, hold up. I'll ask a question, but then it's like, you know what? I don't even want to fucking hear it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just, at this point now, I'm just disciplining everybody because I'm mad at the whole situation.
Right.
If you wasn't doing this and you the oldest, and you know what I mean? So a lot of times I would catch myself doing that. Like, damn, I remember when I was a kid, I got that. Like, damn, I would have to calm myself down, and apologize. Y'all, I'm sorry.
Right.
I apologize. You know what I mean? But still, you know what I mean? Still putting it down. So, I mean, the tough love, like even my son, if I'm telling him something, he'll be like, well, Mom, we're not like y'all how you grew up. And it's different for us now. And I'll be like, I get it, but then I don't get it. You get what I mean? Because how we were raised. Mm-hmm. We didn't have excuses all the time. Matter of fact, we didn't have excuses at all.
We couldn't have no excuse. We didn't have an opinion. Hey. None of
what
that
the fuck
shit.
It is you're supposed to be doing, so do it.
Right.
That's it. That's all.
Right.
And if we didn't, we all had hell to pay.
That's all we heard is, you bet not do it, or you better do it. And it was never no lesson in between it. It was never no, well, you got to make sure you do this so that, you know what I'm saying, this won't happen.
Right. Do you
know
understand
what I'm
the
saying?
severity?
Or you don't want to do that because if you do that, this gonna happen.
Or you see what happened, you see what you did, and you see what was the outcome.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, now do you understand that I wasn't just talking to you to be talking to you?
Right. It's just like, it's okay, you got to take the curiosity away. Because if you just keep telling the child, don't fuck with that, don't fuck with that, don't fuck with that. They're going to want to
fuck with it.
That's all they going to want to do. It's just like having a gun. It's just like you gotta show the kid all of